So what I'm going to talk about today is actually the fact that I used to have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure how many of my current followers actually followed me back when I had my old one, but I actually had several thousand followers on my last channel. And a few things actually happened that made me decide to take it down. One thing was I started to feel a little bit unsafe. There have been several situations where people who had subscribed to my channel or who had seen my videos actually found me in real life, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. The big one was I was actually here in Virginia, and this guy had been following my channel since I had started it back in 2010 with my first video of me coming out. He actually showed up here in Virginia and found me at my workplace. I was working at the store that I'm working at now, and he comes up to me with a box of random things, and he was just like, "Hey, so Ben, I've got this box of things for you." And I was just like, okay. And at the time, I had just started working at my job, so I didn't even have my name tag yet. And so I just assumed that he was told by someone up at the front of the store that my name was Ben, and he came up to me and wanted help. Later on, it became obvious that he had known a little bit more about me than just someone telling him my name. He actually slipped me a disc in a little sleeve with a little note on it saying "For Ben," and I was just like, okay, this guy knows my name and he's already got a disc made for me. And it freaked me out a little bit. I started to actually get a little bit sweaty and a little bit nervous, and he was just like, "Here, just watch this, don't tell anyone about it." And I went back into the break room and pulled the CD out, and there was a long letter inside as well. After reading it, I was extremely freaked out because this guy had been watching my videos for several years, because I didn't move back to Virginia until this past year, so 2013, 2014, and he had been watching me since 2010. And he knew of all the different places that I'd lived, because before on my old channel I was a little bit more vocal about all the places I'd lived and worked. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with this channel. I stuck the DVD into my computer and I was watching it with my friend at the time, and it was pretty creepy. I think the intentions of the video was for him to tell me his life and how I had inspired him to come out and quit drugs and all of that. It was very interesting, but at the same time, he had never messaged me before on any of my channels or on any of my social networks. He just kind of showed up, and I actually ended up going to the police and reporting this situation, because the fact that someone drove several hours to find me freaked me out. And later I found out he had actually called my store to see if I was working that day as well. The police actually told me that there's nothing illegal about someone being creepy, and that it was pretty much my fault for posting so much personal information on the internet. So they were little help to me. They actually told me that if I wanted to, I could put a restraining order on this guy, and my boss at work could ban him from the store, and if he showed up at the store, we could actually have him arrested. He showed up the next day because I had deleted my YouTube channel and everything on it because it had freaked me out so much. And so he came up to me and seemed pretty upset that I had deleted my channel. He told me that it was a red flag for our relationship, and he was upset because he had rented a hotel room here in this town and was looking for places for us to live together here. and he'd also mentioned that he was looking for a job here in this town so that we could be together. I'm not trying to make this guy seem like a horrible person. I'm sure he had all the best intentions in the world, but the way he went about meeting me was extremely creepy enough to make me delete my entire channel. My boss actually stepped in at that time because I had walkied my boss that this guy had come back in the store. He actually ended up buying some things from our store, and it was so cool how my coworkers actually ended up getting him to show them his driver's license, and they also zoomed up on his license plate with the camera on the outside of our store. So like, all my friends decided to be little detectives to get this guy's information so that if anything did go wrong, or if anything happened to me, they would have a suspect at least. I still have that video somewhere in my room, not exactly sure where it is. I've moved since then, and during the move I lost track of where it's at. It's probably somewhere in one of the boxes. But I wanted to share that story just because I feel like a lot of people put out a lot of personal information these days on the internet, and it doesn't really hit you until situations like this come into play and you actually have to deal with the nightmare. Like the police said, it's not illegal for someone to be creepy and fall in love with you. If you decide to put that information out there, it's your responsibility to deal with the consequences of your actions. But I hope you guys liked this story. If you guys have any similar stories or questions, just comment in the box below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. See you guys.